What's up, YouTube? I'm back at you in another video. And in this video, I'm going to give my prediction for the Orange Bowl matchup between the Georgia Bulldogs versus the Florida State Seminoles. You got two teams that didn't make it into the playoffs. Georgia taking a loss to Alabama in the SEC Championship. Got knocked down from number 1 to number 6. And you have the Florida State Seminoles at number 5. Even though going undefeated in their conference play, got left out of the playoffs. And you got two teams feel that they should be in the playoffs, and it's unfortunate that neither team was able to get in. But I'm gonna just give off my stats on the game and try to come with a decision who I think is going to win this game. But first, one thing I want to read off. I'm gonna start with Florida State. Florida State has a lot of opt-outs in this matchup. I didn't realize it until I just recently looked at it. They have a lot of key guys gone. Not only the injury to Jordan Travis, not being in the game. They did have two guys try to step up and take Rodemaker and Brock Glenn, but Florida State hasn't looked good offensively in their last couple of games, and that played a major role in them not getting selected for this matchup. Being in the playoffs, but a lot of key guys out. Like I said, not only problems at the quarterback position, but a lot of opt-outs. Keon Coleman, he's not playing in this matchup. Had like 658 yards receiving with 11 touchdowns. He's not playing. Leading rusher Trey Benson, he's opting out. 905 rushing yards with 14 touchdowns. He was the guy run the ball. Johnny Wilson, he's not playing. Defensively, Jared Verse, he's not playing. Jaheim Bell at tight end is not playing. So those are four key guys from this Florida State team that's not playing in this matchup. Now, I will read off some guys that could potentially step in for these guys. Like I said, Tate Rodemaker, he's thrown for 510 yards. Was injured in the matchup against, the ACC championship game against Louisville. But he has 510 passing yards, so it's either going to be him or Brock Glenn that's going to step up, or going to have to step up in this matchup. Running back, maybe Lawrence Taufili. I might be pronouncing his name wrong. He was the next guy rushing the ball behind Trey Benson with 463 rushing yards with 4 touchdowns. So maybe he gets some heavy playing time, or maybe Rodney Hill, some other guy besides Trey Benson is going to have to step up. Receiving wise, like I said, Keon Coleman and Johnny Wilson not there, and Jaheim Bell. So maybe Cal Morlock at tight end, maybe he can step up. Ja'Kai Douglas, he has 230 yards receiving. Maybe one of those guys can step up. Destin Hill. I mean, they have some guys deep down on the depth chart, but you can't really expect too much, from this Florida State offense, production-wise. Maybe they can shock the world, but having those guys opt out, and it's the reason why those guys opting out. These guys are projected to be high draft picks, and in the NFL, so it's understandable. But Florida State's definitely going to have some guys step up in their place. Huge. Jared Verse not being there, man. He's kind of like the catalyst, the leading guy on their defense, man, for the Florida State Seminoles. So definitely gonna have to have some guys step up. I think Tatum Bethune, he's their leading tackler. He has 71 tackles, 3 passes defended, and 1 interception. So they still have, from what I'm hearing, Kalen DeLoach, another good linebacker. They still have some guys on that D line, man. I mean, on that defense, a linebacker. D-line play, Braden Fisk, Patrick Payton. They have some guys that's going to have to step up. Joshua Farmer. These guys are going to have to step up defensive for the Seminoles defense, against this Georgia team, man. A really, really good Georgia team. But I just want to read those, stats out for Florida State, man. Like I said, all of their top guys offensively are not playing this game, and Jared Verse on defense. So what type of Florida State team we're going to see? It's going to be interesting. I've been seeing a lot of talk about them, potentially trying to you know, not really play the game, and stuff like that. I think that'd be a disservice to their program if they was able to do that. A lot of people paid money for that, program to be able to play football games. And thing I say, man, just try to go out there and try to beat Georgia, man. That'd be the best thing that you could do, to let the college football playoff feel like, you left us out. We're going to go out here and dominate against Georgia. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Florida State does, man. Very, very interesting. Are they going to fight in this matchup? That's going to be interesting. Now I'm going to read off Georgia's stats. Far as I know, from what I saw an article, it was saying that Georgia's not going to have any opt-outs from what I'm hearing. I'm not sure about that, but quarterback, they got Carson Beck. He's thrown for 3,738 yards, 22 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Just been a very, very good player for Georgia, man. Like I said, this is still a really, really good Georgia team. In my opinion, one of the top, best teams in the country, man. Just got left out with that late loss to Alabama, but still a playoff team in my opinion. But they have Dejon Edwards. He has 819 rushing yards with 11 touchdowns. Really, really good player. Just a guy that just knocks guys over, hard to tackle and bring down, man. Really, really good player. Brock Bowers was coming off an injury. Played in the SEC championship. So far, he has 714 receiving yards with 6 touchdowns. Had tightrope surgery and all of that, man. Just a tough guy. Was able to get back to the game and play, man. Just a really, really good team. They have Lad McConkey, Rosemary Jackson. They got a lot of very, very good players. Kendall Milton at running back. Just a lot of good players, man, on this Georgia team. And like I said, as far as I know, I haven't heard any opt-outs or anything in this matchup. Defensively, they still have some great guys over there as well. Stackhouse over there, Malachi Starks on the back end, Kamari Lassiter. Just a really, really great team, man, on both sides of the ball. Both of these teams are. It's going to be interesting to see how they play, man. Like I said, I can understand both teams are angry that they didn't make it, but should be a good matchup, hopefully. But we all going to see how the team performs. Last 5 opponents for both teams. Florida State, they went on the road and beat Pitt 24-7. They beat Miami 27-20. Beat UNA 58-13. I think that's North Alabama. Yeah, North Alabama University beating them 58-13. Went to Florida, went to the Swamp, beat them 24-15. Like I said, I think that was the first matchup where, matter of fact, yeah, Jordan Travis got injured in the North Alabama game. That was their first matchup without him, against Florida. They beat them 24-15, and that's where you start to see the offense kind of tape off. Tate Rodemaker, I think he played decent in that matchup against Florida, but that's where you start to see the offense kind of dwindle down. Then in their ACC championship, they beat Louisville 16-6. So like I said, just offensively wasn't able to, put up some points and stuff like that. So, but defensively, they played outstanding. Georgia beat Missouri 30-21 at home. Really, really good Missouri team, man. Drinkwitz has done a phenomenal job with the Missouri team, and Missouri, man, highly ranked team, this season. Georgia beat Ole Miss 52-17, blowed out a really, really good Ole Miss team, man. At home, a lot of people was talking about that game, thinking Ole Miss was going to be able to do something, but Georgia just shut that offense all the way down. Georgia went on the road to Tennessee, beat them 38-10. Completely dominated Tennessee, man. By that time, Tennessee, man, they were just reeling after the loss to Alabama, and just wasn't able to put it, get things back together. Georgia beat Georgia Tech 31-23. Georgia Tech came out playing really, really well, man. Georgia just couldn't really pull completely away from them in that matchup. Georgia Tech was game, but Georgia won that matchup against their rival. And then, of course, taking the loss in the SEC championship to Alabama, 27-24. In a matchup where I felt like Alabama completely dominated on both sides of the ball, defensively and offensively. Um, a lot of Georgia fans probably don't want to hear that, but if you go back and watch the film, man, Georgia was getting beat off the line of scrimmage, especially on the defense, man. I didn't really expect Alabama to dominate them like that, but and that score doesn't really show, in my opinion, how Alabama could have won that matchup, man. Some people complain about refereeing and stuff like that. That's in every game. Every game you can go back and look at something and be like, that didn't bode well for this team or that. But it all comes down to that line of scrimmage play, man. And Alabama's just more physical up front. So uh, you have a team in Florida State that hasn't lost all season. Then you got a team in Georgia that's played good all season. Just took that late loss, man, and dropped all the way out of the playoffs. In my opinion, they should still they should have been in the playoffs, in my opinion, but they fell to number 6. So you got two teams, man, going into this matchup, uh, feeling like they should have been in the playoffs. It's going to be interesting to see how the game plays out. I'm looking at the line right now. The game's going to be played in Miami Gardens, Florida, where the Orange Bowl is always played at, the Hard Rock Stadium. The line right now is for Georgia, 15 points. If I had to give my prediction for this matchup, I'm picking Georgia, man. Florida State got a lot of problems right now. Not only are they disappointed in not being in the playoffs, but not having their quarterback in the matchup. Their top leading receivers, Keon Coleman and Johnny Wilson's not playing. The top rusher and Trey Benson not playing. Jared Verse not playing defensively. Georgia, man, I just think they're going to run away with it, man. I don't think Florida State is going to be able to keep up with Georgia at this point. Like I said, I don't know if Georgia's going to have anybody sit out. That could make the game more interesting, but I think Florida State has lost too much. Have too many guys sitting out, opting out for the matchup, and I just don't see Florida State win this matchup. But boy, if they can pull this off, boy, they can send a message to the college football playoff and send a message to them saying, you guys left us out. We should have been in, but just playing for their pride. But I think Georgia's going to be too much. In my opinion, even though if Florida State still had Jordan Travis, and potentially they probably would have made the playoffs, but even then, I don't see them beating Georgia at this point. Man, Georgia's very, very good on both sides of the ball. Like I said, they didn't win that many games and not be good, man. Really, really good team. But I got Georgia win this matchup big. I could be wrong, but I just see it that way. Basically, Florida State just going to have to show me, they're just going to have to prove it. But that's all I have for the video. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't, like and share my videos, try to get it out there. I'm trying to continue to grow my channel. And that's all I have for the video. Happy holidays to everyone. And Roll Tide. And I'll see you in the next one.